Hello students. So let's continue with the loop instructions. Let's see a delay program using loop instruction. Okay, this is one of the important programs where we use loop instruction. Okay, in many times when we program, like you require certain delay in the program. Let us suppose you want a hardware, some three LEDs, red, blue, green, are connected to the processor, and you want each LED to be on for certain amount of time and off for certain amount of time. So in such cases you need a timer, you need a time delay in the program. So this time delay can be provided using a hardware or software. Like using hardware, you can interface a timer chip to the processor and you can give a hardware delay. And you can also give for small applications you can generate this delay using software. Okay, software using by writing a delay program. So let's see how we can write a delay program, how to calculate and write a program. Okay, so you know that each instruction, to execute each instruction, a processor takes certain number of cycles. Okay, number of clock cycles it takes. So you can see in the textbooks which you have, you can see at the back side, like the manufacturer will give you, like for this so and so instruction, how many clock cycles the processor will take. Any processor, for any processor it will be given, like to execute that particular instruction, how many clock cycles the processor will take. Okay, and you know that the processor is given with a 5 megahertz clock, isn't it? 5 megahertz or 8 megahertz, depends on the version. So if the clock frequency given to the processor is 5 megahertz, that means one clock cycle will be of how much time period? Clock cycle will be equal to 1 upon 5 megahertz. Okay, so this will be equal to 0.2 microseconds. That means each clock pulse will be 0.2 microseconds. Okay, so if you see the table, move register to register, any register, 16-bit register to register, any instruction if you write, like if I say move bx cx. Okay, it is a data transfer instruction which transfers the contents of cx to bx. So this instruction will take 2 clock cycles. This instruction will take 2 clock cycles. And if you take DAA, decimal adjust after addition, so this will take 4 clock cycles. See, this is given by the manufacturer. Like you can see the table and find out for that particular instruction how many number of clock cycles the processor will take. So jump on no zero, branch instructions, jump on no zero, it is given as 16 or 4. What it means is, if the jump is there, if the branch is there to next the specified displacement label here, then it takes 16 clock cycles. If the condition is not satisfying and it will come out of the loop, in that case it will take only 4 clock cycles. Okay, so this is how for each instruction the clock cycles will be given. Okay, so let us write a delay program using these clock cycles and each instruction how much time it is taking. We calculate a count, write a program, we calculate the count and generate a certain delay. Okay, so let's write a program for 1 millisecond delay. Program for 1 millisecond delay. The processor speed is 0.2 microseconds. I want 1 millisecond delay. Okay, so first thing is what we do, we need to write, because in loop instructions we need to load the count register with some count. Okay, count, we'll find out our aim is to find out what must be this count. So depending on this count, you will calculate this number of cycles it is taking, that we calculate and find out how much count it is to be loaded. And we write some 2 to 3 no operation instructions. So this instruction will take, let's see, and then loop next, and this next is, here you don't want the processor to do any operation, you want only delay. So that's why you have written no operation. There is an instruction no operation. This will just, instruction gets executed, nothing happens when this instruction gets executed. It takes 3 clock cycles. The processor takes 3 clock cycles to execute this particular instruction. For this particular instruction, the processor takes 4 clock cycles. You can verify this from the textbook backside, it will be given in the textbooks. You can verify these clock cycles for those instructions. And for loop next, this will take 17 or 5. Okay, that means if the jump is there to this particular location, if the condition is satisfied and it goes here, then 17 clock cycles. That means if till the count is not equal to 0, it will take 17 clock cycles. Once the count is 0, it will come out of the loop. At that time, it will take only 5 clock cycles. Okay, so here total clock cycles is equal to, let us suppose this is out of the loop, so C naught plus, so this 17 plus 3 plus 3, how many times it is executed? This is executed, number of times is count. Let us suppose count is equal to n. So n into how much time it takes, this for this 3 into 0.2 microseconds, for this 3 into 0.2 microseconds, for this 17 into 0.2 microseconds. So n into how much it is, 23. Okay, 23, but at the end, last, when it executes, when count is equal to 0, then it takes only 5 clock cycles. So for accurate, you can calculate with this. For accurate results, you can minus this 12. Total this one clock cycles minus 12, because at the end only 5 clock cycles it will take. 17 minus 5, it is 12. Okay, so here, so C naught is how much, 4 plus n into 23 minus 12. So this becomes 4 minus 12, it is n into 23 minus 8. So what we need to, this CT means total time required, total time it takes. Okay, so here to calculate this, 1 clock cycle, this depends on total time I want is 1 millisecond. Okay, so 1 millisecond, to get 1 millisecond, how many times this is to be repeated? So to calculate that, you write 1 milli divided by 0.2 microseconds. I want 1 millisecond delay, and the each clock period is 0.2 microseconds. So this will be equal to 10 by 2, 5 into, this is 10 into minus 3. Here it is, micro means 10 to the power of minus 6. So when it comes up, it becomes 10 to the power of 3. So this is equal to 5000. Okay, total clock cycles is 5000 required. Okay, so 5000, this is equal to 5000 n into 23 minus 8. So n is equal to 5000 plus 8 by 23, it comes to 218. The count is 218. So this is in decimal. You need to convert it to binary. When you convert it to binary, it comes to be 0 DA. When it convert it to binary, it becomes 0 DA. So this count is to be loaded to CX register. This 0 DA count is to be loaded to CX register. So this count is loaded, and when this particular loop is executed that many number of times, the delay produced is equal to 1 millisecond. Okay, so to generate 1 millisecond delay, this is the program, and this is how you calculate. Depending on the number of clock cycles each instruction will take, you calculate the count. So if you want 10 milliseconds, then this will change. You write here 10 milliseconds. Okay, so it is 1 millisecond calculated. You write it here 10 milliseconds and calculate it. It becomes a 50,000. For that binary, you take down, get the count for that one and load that count to this register. If the count is more than 16 bit, if your count is going more than 16 bit, then you can increase the no operation instructions here, or you can do a nested loop. That means this whole program is put in another loop, and that is this particular loop is executed that many number of times to get more and more delay. So this is how software delay programs are written and they work. Okay,